Five, four, three, two, one. Welcome to the first episode of the Play for Picks podcast. My name is Nerfed, and this is Sato Chia to my right. The Play for Picks podcast is going to be a Counter-Strike based podcast, and we're going to be going over a lot of the analytical side of game, mostly strategy, and what we'll be focusing our first episode on will be IEM Masters for Katowice that is going on in a couple of hours actually. And the first match that we're going to be looking at be Renegades versus Astralis at 6 a.m. Eastern Time. Sate, what says you about the first match of the IEM 2018 Masters?
I'm interested in seeing this new Astralis lineup play again in the tournament with Majisboy. He looks like he himself was looking pretty good in Kiev, but the team didn't play so great. Device, a couple of their key players are clearly missing. Device notably wasn't playing that great, but hopefully they'll pull together. I think they can make a deep run in this tournament. But it's best of one. Renegades has some skill in their team. They could pull an upset, but Astralis should be able to take Renegades pretty easily. Majisboy himself it's notable that Majisboy himself looked pretty good, although the team didn't. But I think they'll be able to slot him in. Glaive is a really great in-game leader. They'll be able to slot him in pretty well. I think they'll do okay. Should be able to take game one against Renegades. No problem.
Who do you think will be the factor that will give Astralis the edge over Renegades, even though Renegades is off to a hotter start than they were in Kiev?
It's hard to tell right now because their key players were missing. I'll go with the Magisk. I'll go with the Magisk. He has that kind of playmaking potential where he can really take over a game if he's really feeling hot by himself. And he looks like he was doing pretty well. It's notable that their pistol rounds look much better than they did before. That's good to know. That's good to see. I think that was the main problem with them, but with their old lineup with Caribbean, they were losing a lot of pistol rounds, and it was really costing them. Like they were losing a lot, like a significant amount. And Magisboy's pretty good, so it looks like they're turning that around at least.
Personally, I think that Device really needs to step up a little bit. He's lacking on he's been really missing some point blank shots.
He was hurt or sick, whatever. He hasn't looked good ever since he got back. Starting with the major.
No, honestly, when I came back into the scene back in January, I know it's a very short period of time, but you are a heavy, staunch Astralis fan, and I am a Liquid fan, as to be known. You were hyping up Device to be this god, and
he was one of the most consistent players over the last year and a half. Always in that like top 3, top 5 range. Although he may not be the most mechanically skilled player, his game sense is incredible. His work ethic is incredible, and he really is just like a pretty incredible player at like everything he does. He's just having enough time lately, getting back into the swing of things, it seems. But the real key about for Astralis has been Dupree. He's really come into his own in the last couple of months, and he's really back to being like a really superstar player. Hopefully, he can pull it up for this tournament.
Okay.
The good old double D combo, Device and Dupree.
I'm really hoping that they show up this tournament.
I'm interested in seeing what roles Dupree will find himself slotting into, because he's known to be a player who's consistently been changing his roles, and he's so good at adapting each and every role he's made to play. It's amazing how he's able to do it at this point. He's played like 5 or 6 different fucking roles. He's so good at them. He's so good at adapting to new styles of play. I'm really excited to see this new version of Dupree play out now with this new lineup in Majisboy.
Have we seen a Dupree in-game leader regime, I guess you would say?
No, he's not a game leader. Glaive is a superstar in-game leader. He's a set in-game leader. There's no reason they would ever do anything other than that.
Where do you think on the top? I'll expand it to 5 in-game leaders. Where would Glaive reach the top 5?
Yeah, he definitely squeaks into He definitely squeaks. He definitely was squeaking today.
Where so low or
I have to think about that.
but where do you think who would be above, who would be below? I mean,
Probably Fallen and Carrigan.
okay. I mean, I'll give you time if you want to come up with your top five in-game leaders. Maybe that's something we could talk about at the end of the podcast, where you can develop. You can think about it.
He's got to be at least below them, but he's definitely in that like top 5 range. He's so good at like adapting in new players too. That's why I'm so excited for Boy. Like we saw at Blast Pro Series and ECS, he was able to players that don't even speak Danish, and they just did so well. Like Glaive is just a great in-game leader.
Do you think that Boy is the right pick for Astralis? And do you think that Glaive can wrangle him in and really?
I think certainly. Like Astralis they have such a structured team that they should with a core like that, they should definitely be able to slot in a skilled player like Boy. He's a little wild, but he's definitely a player. He played under MSL for so long, so he knows how it's like to fit into to play into like a structured, strict team. What I wanted to see Boy bring out of Astralis though is I want to see Boy inspire a little bit more loose play in them. I think it's been a major criticism of them in the last couple of months that they do have this amazing strict and structured core, but they sometimes they play too into that game plan. They read too much into their playbook. I want to see them play a bit more loose, play a little bit more with their mechanical skill that they have, because they have such a high skill ceiling on this team. They should be able to outfrag most of the teams here. Even without the great tactics, they should be able to just outfrag most of these teams.
When I was watching Kiev, it seemed like that they were their own demise. They seemed like they were in their own heads too much, considering the last person alive a lot. On the game that I forget who they were playing in particular, but they were on train, and I feel like Boy was the last person alive every single time.
He had a good tournament. He played pretty well. I'm pretty happy about that. So I don't really see Kiev as like it was their first tournament for the team. They're a team that's usually pretty slow rolling, but they usually pull together. So I'm excited. I'm glad to see that the new player was playing well, and at least you can see in their game that they clearly had strategy, clearly had set tactics. Nothing was just working. They just weren't hitting shots most of the team. The star players didn't show up, but the team looks like they have like direction at least. Like they're not like dead in the water or lost. Like they'll pull together.
It seems like you and I may have a little bit of opposite feelings on this, considering I feel that he kind of played a little too slow, especially on train where he was the last person alive. He kind of showed up. He showed up to the frags late, or he was the one that was planting the bomb, the last person alive.
We don't know what's going on in the comms. Maybe Glaive was telling him things to do.
But it seems like that they're all clicking, but they're not working as a cohesive as as they're traditionally usually are.
This first tournament, this team, they'll be okay.
As for let's give some talk time to Renegades.
I'm actually like interested in this Renegade. It's a weird freaking team, but they're not
Nifty.
Like,
I really enjoy watching Nifty. I think that he is a interesting in-game leader. I feel
he's a decent player. He's a good opper. Like he's not terrible.
He's representing the United States in an Australian team currently, and I personally feel him, considering him as myself as a op, and I like to play in-game lead too.
The problem with this team is they lack superstar talent. Like they're all like decent players. Like we know what we've seen Azza and JKS and still play for years. We know what Jacob can do. Like they're all like decent players. They're all, like at times have been pretty good players, but there's no like superstar on the team that's gonna like really carry them.
Yeah,
that's the main problem with this team. They need like a real superstar.
It doesn't seem like Astillo really has too much oomph from what I'm looking at right now.
These guys have been playing for ages. We know the level of these guys. It's really unlikely that one day they'll be super significantly better than they are right now.
I mean, let's look at Renegade's previous wins.
I think what they need is to get Ricky back. He's actually
Ricky.
He's a free agent, and he's a
But who
very, very skilled player. I think I think he could be a superstar player.
did you kick? Then that's
I don't
interesting.
know. It'd be hard. How would you kick
Uh,
him? Like, why the hell is Jacob in this lineup? He's not a bad player. He's a good player by all means, but like he's just there. You know, like he's just this like Norwegian guy in this Renegades team, and it's kind of weird. Like we've seen Jacob play for a while. Like he was a good player. He's a pretty good player. In his breakout performance, he looked like he was going to be a good player, but then he kind of fell back down to earth, and he was like just another decent player. He hasn't really done anything since.
let's
What is it, that old Kingwin lineup, maybe?
true. Let's go over the Star Series, the road that Renegade had to go on to get to where they were, which I was really impressed watching. They were really fun to watch. They played a more of a scrappy game. I will compare them to the QB Fire of this.
They're definitely not like QB5.
I'm talking about the Buster. They kind of just came in. They were,
I guess,
they were more of a. I was kind of expecting them there, but I wasn't at the same exact time.
Sixth place at a pretty stacked tournament is really good for them. Like making it out of groups for them is pretty good.
Actually,
Like,
I'm sorry.
That's a stacked tournament. Like that was a really stacked tournament. They made it out of groups. That's pretty good.
Barely. They squeaked. I'm actually re-looking at the stats and everything.
Oh, yeah.
They barely squeaked, but they got 2-0'd by G2. Then they got
fair. G2's a much better team.
I understand. Then they got 2-1. They lost 2-1 to Liquid. Very fair.
Also a much better team, yeah.
And they
2-0 Fnatic, which is incredible. That's a feat and a half.
But Fnatic looked like duty.
They did, but Fnatic should be a better team. So I mean,
should,
they can only
but
play
they
the
weren't.
teams in front of them. You know, like
You can't really look at the name Fnatic in this sense and really give it the weight that it should. Then they 2-0'd Tyloo, which is I would say
Tyloo sucks.
I would consider them a tier 3 team that consistently squeaks into tournaments. Hellraisers, they
Chinese team.
True. Then
I think that Hellraisers. I think being Hellraisers is okay. Like I think they're around a similar level of team.
I thought Hellraisers kind of they were streaky. They weren't gonna make it any further.
They also had to use a sub for like the first day, so that didn't help them out very much.
Then they got 2-0.
Like when that guy, yeah.
They got 2-0 by FaZe. Then they got 2-0 by FaZe.
Also very fair.
Then that
best team in the world.
Yeah, but it could have been Hellraisers or Renegades at that point. So
I think they're fairly even teams. I wouldn't be too mad if either of them.
I consider both of those tier 2 teams.
I think Renegades is slightly better.
Still tier 2 for me. Hellraiser and Renegade. I like to see them. I like to see players like Nifty play. I also I also enjoy seeing Woxic play. He's very interesting. I hope that one day he finds a team where he is in the winning lineup. But I feel like Renegades needs to replace at least 1 or 2 players to give him that power to really give him push them to the tier 1 status.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, since they're 3 Australians, they qualified for the major through the Oceanic qualifier, so they would which is good because that's obviously the much easier qualifier. So if they were going to replace one of the Australian players, they'd have to do it with another Australian player. Just I think to stay in the qualifier system for Oceanic region.
Ricky Australian? I'm not really okay. I'm not too. That would be a perfect placement. If to be completely honest, I didn't really. I wasn't expecting to be
before. I mean, he was on the team before. They just. I don't remember if he got kicked or he left, but he was on the team before. Before he was in CLG, and then CLG dropped their lineup. Feels bad. He was definitely the best. He was definitely. Let me put it that way. He was definitely that CLG lineup up. He was definitely the best piece of that team. Like I wouldn't take any of the rest of those players on any team other than him.
So final words on the Astralis. I completely agree with you. Astralis should take this, but I can see, considering that Renegades was off to a hot start, that they could bring this back to the squeaker.
Pretty good in group stage games too. So that's also worth noting. Device is usually pretty good in group stage game. He usually starts out pretty decently.
This is
He's carried
a
he's carried that core to a lot of quarters and semifinals. Just
this
by
is
himself.
a BO1, correct?
Yep.
Yep.
I think so.
Yeah, the game, the times in between. Yeah,
Yep, that's the one.
best of one for Group A, upper bracket. Then, let's talk about the SK Avengar.
I don't really have anything to say about that game at all.
Well, you
I've
know
barely
what?
ever watched a Vanguard ever play.
We can talk about and how dare say we, the people that we are, that SK is underperforming currently. I
Everybody knows
personally
that.
think.
They most certainly are. They absolutely are. Yeah, I'm looking at the qualifier for how Avangard made it to this tournament, and there was some decent teams in this qualifier that they had to pass. They 2-0'd Space Soldiers, and then they 2-1 Mouse Sports, and then they 2-0'd AGO's Esports, which is like the second best or third best Polish team to make it here. Like that's a 2-1 to Mouse Sports and 2-0 over Space Soldiers. That's not bad. That's not a bad run.
When
That's
was the qualifiers?
I don't know, like last month or something. Yeah, last
Yeah,
month.
what day?
Yeah, they are January 16th to February 11th. That's pretty good. So I'll take that. There's a bunch of like Navi was in this tournament. It was in this qualifier. Big was in this qualifier. Epsilon was in this.
Oh wow!
Like that's pretty good, I guess.
All right, go Avant-Garde. I could jive with that.
I mean, I still don't care about this team. I'm probably never gonna watch them play other than these tournaments.
The only person I found interesting to watch when I was watching the qualifiers
Is that Buster guy?
for Busters, when I was watching the qualifiers for the Boston Major, Buster was good. He was interesting to watch. He's got some oomph.
These players are okay.
Kicker honestly was pretty fun to watch too. I was trying to watch him as much as possible, but then the rest of them, Krisen,
Yeah, well, it's SK Gaming. Like,
I don't really know much.
it's SK Gaming. I still think they're gonna be. They'll end up somehow, some way. They'll end up the best team in the world by the end of the year. So
by the end of the year, but how many tournaments do they need by the middle of the year? Okay.
I bet 6 months in they'll overtake FaZe.
How many tournaments do they need to lose before they need to prove themselves with their roster change from Phelps to Bolts? Not saying that
They've already played a couple.
they've lost all of them with Bolts so far.
What did they place though? Losing isn't the same as like coming in like like semifinal.
Let's see what's
I don't
good.
remember.
Results. They
Because they played the one, what was it, ECS before the major with Bolts 2.
SK came in for Kiev. SK came in the 5th to 8th range. Then in Boston, they came in what? Well, they were using Phelps in Boston, so we can't really talk about that.
I don't know what's going on with that team. But I'm sure they'll figure it out. Like, there's just no way they won't figure it out.
And so, they came in 3rd for Summit.
Yeah, that's true. I do remember that. They look pretty bad. They look pretty poor there.
They look pretty bad. Not saying
that pretty bad. They look pretty bad for the best, supposedly the best team in the world. Yeah, they still look like a good team.
Okay,
they'll figure it out. They'll figure it out. It doesn't matter.
All right,
they'll figure it out.
SK's worst day is probably Avangard's best day.
Exactly.
I mean, to be completely honest. So
exactly, that's what I'm saying. Like, it doesn't matter. It's SK Gaming.
If SK,
you can rely on them to make deep runs in tournaments. You can rely on them because they're the most clutch team ever to play this game. They're the most clutch team. They don't crack under pressure. They're just so solid all around in every possible way. Their strategies are amazing. Their strategy is amazing. Their mechanical skills amazing. Their map pool, it's looking a little shaky. I'm not gonna lie, the map pool looks a little shaky, but they'll figure it out. I know they'll figure it out. I know they'll figure it out. So
They
I'm not worried about the team at all.
they they keep bringing Inferno into their map rotation, but yet they cannot. I think it's a
It's
poor
weird.
pick. I think it's
When
a big mistake. They're one of the only teams that can also. Interestingly enough, they're not playing to their strong suits recently. They
I want
really
to
should
see more
force the cobble
overpass out of
pick.
them. I
They
want to
should.
see more overpass. I want to see more train. I want to see them. I want to see fall back on these older picks that they were used to be like the kings of.
Well, they're also one of the only teams that can play cobblestone very
Yeah,
well.
I guess so.
Very well.
There's a few teams that can play Cobble.
I think that they should start using that as a third round. Like once it gets to the best of three, so they should use that
Start floating Cobble.
should
Yeah, it
start
depends on who you're playing
floating
against.
cobble on a third map if they have the choice.
Yeah, that's
But
fine.
they're not really falling to it because I saw some amazing setups for it, especially when they get the CT pick. Fawn could get some really nice off
I want to
angles.
see more. I want. Of course, I still want to see them play Mirage. Like I love watching SK Gaming on Mirage. They're one of the most hilarious teams to watch on that map. They're so freaking incredible at it. Just with first, he's so dominant on that map. Like he's absolutely so dominant. It's so great watching him play Mirage.
I
But
you
the thing is, like Mirage is like a map that, while they may be good at it, a lot of other teams are also really good at Mirage too. So that's what makes it kind of tricky. A lot of other teams are really good at Mirage.
I think Mirage is kind of the baseline map right
it's
now.
The new Dust 2.
Yes,
It's the new Dust 2. That's what it is. It's
it
the
has
new Dust 2.
it has to be something had to take the place of it, and I think Mirage, and everybody knows that.
It really is a new Dust 2.
Well, but as you know, that I'm a fan of also mouse sports, and I find that mouse sports Mirage is hilarious. Chris J and also in this recent tournament, they've been breaking out these hilarious strats, especially with these SMGs. They're buying in like 13 when they're winning up like 13-5, pulling out an MP7,
Chris J knows he needs to get Oscar that money.
which was really interesting. I really saw how that they worked as a cohesive unit, but also that Chris J is an awesome in-game leader. That he himself can feed Oscar hit the up. I really enjoy his in-game. I think he's an awesome in-game leader.
Chris J is still not an in-game leader in my head. He's
what?
Not an He's
well,
not an
to be fair,
for years. He's not an in-game leader.
To be fair, I just came back into it. I found Mouse a very scrappy team when I first came back into it in January.
When the best way to describe them, they are scrappy.
When I saw them in Boston, I thought they put on a great run. I kind of started falling in love with the players. Then I watched one of their little snippets that E-League put on for it. I like their backstory. I like how young Rops and Sunny are. They work very well together. Chris J, I think that other teams are going to start really understanding what he's going to be on the ball and keep changing his strats. But the fact that if Oscar wasn't on that team, that they wouldn't have won. They wouldn't have won in Kiev.
No, he's a superstar player.
The fact that he knows that he needs to give up the money to give it to Oscar in those do or die situations, and the fact that he can get an SMG and an AWP in the same round and then still produce as well as he was, that was very impressive. But I think that he's a good. I personally think he's a good in-game leader. For right now, it's kind of a shame that they're not going to be at the IEM Masters, but their Mirage is really fun to watch too.
Mirage is sick, dude. Sick.
Sick. Put that to rest. I say SK. What say you?
SK.
Okay, that was kind of easy.
I don't care about this Vanguard team at all.
We are up to the Gambit game.
That's fire.
It
looks like duty, and Liquid looks really hot.
Horrible.
Liquid looks super good. Liquid looks super good.
I'm
I'm
so
so excited to see this Liquid
happy.
team.
I'm so happy to be a
I'm
Liquid fan.
extremely excited to see the Liquid team. I think their roster. I think man for man, their roster is extremely talented. I think they have one of the best rosters man for man. I think they have a absolutely great coach. I think everything's turning
Who's
around
a
really
man?
nicely with this team. Things are really, really coming around nicely with the team. I think these players have they know what they want to do when they get into the server, and they're just as the more they play together, the more they're just going to get better and better. I think this team Liquid team's going to be a really, really dangerous team towards coming up to the next major and these next big tournaments. I think they're a really dangerous team.
I completely agree. Being a Liquid fan, it's awesome to see that there are a
I
dominant
think all
force
five of these
currently.
players are extremely skilled. Extremely skilled. I think they have an amazing coach. I think they're just going to be. I think they have the organization gives them everything they need to succeed. I think this is the team. This is the NA team.
Um, the addition of NAF, he has been an instant impact at at CS Summit. He kind of he gave him that
Crazy
extra
like 1.56
crazy.
dude he was wild. Nitro,
Nitro's
absolute
been coming up
monster.
with so many of these 1v
Nitro
X
leads
clutches.
your duo stars. Twist is on the sick lurk. Like Steel can just do it. Steel can just fit into the role. Fit into the role. Naf is a sick player. Like
It doesn't seem like they're really missing JDM too much.
you can see what their map pool looks like. They have like a solid round map pool. Like they're a good team. I think they're a good team.
I think they're going to be extremely lethal through this best of ones.
Do I think they're
they're
gonna be the top three? No, but I think they're gonna be like right outside the top.
I think
Top, like 5 to like 8 range.
yeah, I think they're
I
going to
think they
make.
could be an underdog. I think they're a really good underdog to win a tournament. A
I
really good underdog team.
I personally think that they're at these best of ones that they may get out of these best of ones unscathed
Oh
with no losses.
no! Look at that group. It's not possible.
I don't know, man.
That's not possible.
They defeated most of these teams, and most of these teams are other or well below their skill cap. So I could safely say that if they
No way.
okay, all right,
The their bracket is insane.
realistically,
They have to play SK Gaming or Charles in a best of 3, assuming they win the Gambit game.
oh, I said best of ones, but I don't know.
Oh no, they play Cloud9. Right, they'll play Cloud9. I lied. But then to make it into the playoffs, they'll have to play Astralis or SK Gaming. That's gonna be very hard.
I don't know.
It's very difficult.
I also think that it really does come down to how tilted Cold is, considering we're also seeing that Colt is kind of a tilt machine.
No, he's not.
From what I've been
He's
seeing.
literally the opposite of Tilt. He's had like the most consistent rating for any player in the history of Counter Strike. Like he had like 2 negative tournaments of like 2.5 years of tournaments.
As of what?
Literally the most consistent player of all time.
As of recent is what I'm saying. Is that his outburst in Kiev was kind of it was extremely unprofessional when he got honestly, but it was kind of a shitty tactic that Navi put doing. They were going to knife him. It was a play, but the fact that he kind of was like yelling after the fact, that was kind of
it's just a Brazilian thing. That's what they do.
But either way, the fact that Navi was laughing after the fact that they did it, and that they knew that they must know something that if you kind of get on Cold's tilted side, and where that thought originally came from was whoever was casting the match. They were kind of hinting at the fact that Cold tilts, but I'll get over that. What's that we're looking up currently?
I want to know how he actually played at the event.
Which one?
Cold Zero at Star Ladder.
Oh. Why you look that game up?
Whatever. Not that important.
All right. So let's talk about Gambit and how they're kind of shitting up the storm recently.
That team is dead in the water. They're done. I have no faith in this team whatsoever. I don't care about this team anymore. I'd like them half his team to fuse with maybe Navi or something. I'm done with the team. I'm absolutely done with the team.
Okay, that is extremely interesting.
I don't know if anybody on the team is. I think only 2 players on this team are worth saving. I'd get rid of the rest of them.
Ooh.
Dren and Hobbit. I don't think the rest of those players are not worth. I don't care about the rest of those players. The other 3 players. I think his team is dead in the water, and I think it's a waste of everybody's time.
I mean,
they just look like they don't have structure. Everything, like they have no structure at all.
I think it's a really shitty.
They're flopping around in-game leaders. They're flopping around players.
The fact that they got seized in replacements for Fitch.
Seas is so bad that Richard Lewis had to make a YouTube video explaining that Seas is just bad and that he wasn't intentionally throwing the game from. He had to explain that to Reddit. Seas is that bad. He's just bad. Like he's not throwing. He's just bad. Like Richard Lewis had to explain that to people. He's just bad. Like he's terrible.
Yeah, sometimes you just don't understand how people make it in professional play.
I mean, he was good. He was a great player for like 2 to 3 years. He was a solid player. He was a rock. He's old. He's not good anymore. I don't know what to tell you. Well, he's actually not that old, but
hold on. He's 23. I just had my birthday. You're same age as you.
He's not good anymore. He's just not good anymore.
Old.
I don't know. And he hasn't been good in a while. It's not like he's
asshole.
Just like, he's been like bad for like 1 or 2 tournaments. Like he hasn't been for a while.
Let's see. Dren is 28. If you want,
yeah, Dren played 1.6. Dren was a 1.6 player.
And the Sex God is 29. If anything, he's old.
Dosie's bad. Yeah, and he's not good. I just think his team is dead in the water. They have no structure. They don't know what. They don't look like they know what they're doing. They don't even. Who the hell is in game leading this team? Why is Hobbit in game leading the team? I don't know what to do with the team. I think they're dead in the water.
I completely agree. I do like the lineup for nostalgic purposes.
I still have faith that Adren can one day become again a top 3, top 5 player in the world. I think Hobbit's a pretty solid player.
He's still looking like doo-doo.
Yeah, because he's in game leading.
I personally,
I still think Adren can be a top player again. Like I think he could be a superstar. So I think that's a good part of this lineup.
Hero places if this team either one breaks up.
They're not gonna break up. No, they're not gonna break up at all. They spent too much money on this. They just bought C's.
True.
Gambit's not going anywhere.
Silly me. Well, you said that
guy Andy does either.
Then you would keep Adren and Hobbit, so you would kick out Dozia, Mao, and C.
I think Mo's terrible. I don't think Dozia does anything. And I think C's is dead weight. Absolute dead weight.
It'd be interesting considering maybe the Vanguard team shows a little bit of promise. They could
between them,
possibly
a bunch of those teams though. Like you're right. Like there's a bunch of those teams from that region that if they just like took like the best player from each of those teams and threw him on Gambit, you could have like a sick Kazakhstani team. Like a sick team. You could have a sick team.
Like you and I always bullshit when we're throwing around ideas. The fact that there's so many CIS teams that we could use. That these tier 2 and tier 3 teams.
Yeah, but they're all stuck in contract hell. Like it's impossible to get most of these players out of their contracts. So like none of these 6 CIS rosters that we could make could ever happen because they're all stuck in crazy contracts that they're impossible to break out of.
True, but it could be very similar when in a real sport. Maybe if let's use Adren in this case. If Adren completely goes on this really terrible slide that they bench Adren, but they don't want to sell him, and he probably has a crazy buyout.
Oh.
But let's say that they take sorry about that. Take Kicker from Vanguard and replace him maybe kicker has probably a
He doesn't
shitty.
save anything. Who is he? Like they need an in-game leader. First thing they need to just start building his team.
Oh
like,
no,
they need an in-game leader.
I'm just giving you a hypothetical situation where a Dren is benched and they replace some. It could be it could be anybody on the Dren as the example, and then they bench Dren even though he probably has a high salary, but they don't want to give him. They want to give him up chance that he might play against them, but probably kicker good shows off some. It shows off something in this, and he probably has a low buyout. What happens?
No, that's not true. Just because he's on a team that we never heard of doesn't mean that's
very
not true.
very true. A lot of these new players do get stuck into crazy contracts.
That's exactly what happens. Who the fuck is a Vanguard? Like as an organization, you don't. Who knows what their contracts look like? I wouldn't even speculate.
I'm actually curious. No.
I have no idea who they are. What this organization? I've never heard of them before.
I am on the Kazakhstani version of Facebook, what it seems, and I can't read shit.
It's Russian. The V site. Yeah, they're Russian. So they can Russian Facebook.
Yeah. And
Oh, some like Russian oligarch. Who knows? Like, it doesn't matter.
They're actually relatively new. They came out in July of last, and ever since their inception, they have been in top 3, and then kind of.
I don't care about any servers. What the hell is this? No, it's not. World Cyber Arena, 17th to 28th. ESL One New York. The ESL One New York last year's Open qualifier. They came 33 to 64th place in the qualifier.
Oh, like, Wikipedia must be showing me the good stuff. Considering I'm seeing like
I'm on the same side.
I only see 9th to 6th, first 9th to 6th, first.
Results in yeah, these are just random.
Oh, fair enough.
I don't
okay.
These random.
Oh, okay, yeah, 33. Never mind. I rescind everything that I said.
I don't care about this team.
Silly.
I don't care about this team. On to the next.
Okay. Stamp this shit. I say.
Hell yeah. Easy.
All right.
Easy skins, easy life.
Only if Gadoodle was here. No, but anyway. So, speaking of which,
also another
C9 Tyloo. I hope for as much as I don't want the NA hype train to be alive.
No, they got
this. I kind of really hope that Tyloo wins.
Unless like
knock them off their high horse.
Unless that guy BNet like does some crazy 1v9 shit. Like,
is Tyloo?
Mo's okay. Mo's not that good. DD's not that good. Somebody's not that good. But that guy BNet is really good though. He's really skilled.
Yes.
He's really good.
Pardon for my famous speaking. What team is he on? Is that Heroic?
Juggy? Yeah.
Yeah, JU.
Yeah.
Sorry. Okay, yeah, he was on Heroic. Because I was getting him mixed up with maybe someone on MVP. Maybe I don't know.
I'm kind of never heard of any of the players on MVP.
No, because I actually looked them up, but I'm getting confused. But you told me in particular to look out for someone on Tyloo who
whatever his name, however you pronounce his stupid name. He's really good.
BNTET.
Yeah, BTET, whatever his name is. He's super talented.
Somebody played
he just has
fairly well.
He just like raw skill. Like he just has really raw mechanical skill. He's like really crisp aim. He's really good foot bullet accuracy. He's a pretty skilled player. He just needs refining his talent.
All right, I'll
Like
keep
he's
it
never gonna get. It's never gonna happen because he plays in fucking China.
when I watch
So
the matches tomorrow. I'll keep an eye on him.
he's a good player.
You know how I feel,
Continues
but
to gain pride on
I
him.
will express to the fans. I kind of hope that, uh, mostly for the fan base, that these 9 fans get knocked down back down to earth, considering
I think they have.
they are playing like shit right now.
They are playing like duty.
I'm sorry.
The absolute duty. I don't know what's going on. I
I
don't know
don't.
what's going on in that team. There's got to be something going on in that team, like inside the team.
The only thing that's happening right now is automatic showing up on the server, and he's showing up big.
Tim's.
He's showing up very
Yeah, Tim's so good.
in a big way. I think he's very well. Tarek he's going back to his old ways in a sense. Stewie he is missing shots he is not usually
I don't know what's wrong
missing.
with Scooter either.
And Scudo, holy crap,
Is he
whiff
even
after
upping? Like,
whiff.
what is he doing?
He's not.
Is he even upping? Like,
Dude,
I don't know what's going on with the team.
I brought this up to you the other day off camera. Was I noticed that Skadoodle was not always upping. They were running double up setups with Skadoodle on the rifle, but they were running with double up setup with Stewie and automatic when Skadoodle, their main upper, was running rifle.
Yeah, it's either a set tactic specific for that situation or something's going on with Skadoodle. I don't know.
No, it was multiple rounds. It was multiple rounds in a row.
Yeah, you're right. Like, what's the point of having Skadoodle on the team if he's not upping? That's the only thing he does.
I don't know, but the fact that I think it's messing with the rest of the team, considering they can't really settle into their roles.
I can see that.
And also, I will speak to the fact that maybe Americans are on the weaker side. I guess maybe they are the bitches in a sense, but people are kind of getting worked to the bone. There's been a lot of tournaments. Some of them are getting sick. Zeus was playing through a pretty bad illness.
I saw that. Yeah.
In Kiev, and he didn't even have to travel that far.
I guess.
I
guess.
When I was looking at Cloud9 when they were playing that last game, they looked like that. I was talking to you. I'm sorry. Like we're watching. Stewie looked like he drugged. He looked like he was dead. Like he had no soul.
I don't know. They said they had really bad jet lag and stuff. They said they had rough travels. I don't know. We'll see. And they're this is right. You know, IEM is right after Starladder, so it's like they don't even have many days. They don't have any days to really get anything.
None. Sadly.
Any rest or anything really. They probably had like media day yesterday and probably landed the day before.
Media day was Monday. Yesterday.
Yeah, they probably went right from Kiev. Yeah, they clearly they just flew right from Kiev to Poland. Like, it's gotta be rough.
Yep. We follow Karen.
I don't know if they're gonna get much better for this tournament, but I mean they'll take care of Tyloo pretty easily. But I think if they have to play Liquid in the next game, in the next round, I think they'll definitely lose to Liquid, depending on the map. But I mean, I think they should definitely lose to Liquid.
You know, C9's always gonna pull some shit out of their ass, especially if they make
it. And then NA versus NA game, I guess so.
Yeah. I say C9. You say.
Yeah, just kind of take this game.
C9. Okay. C9 is a clear victor here. We personally think. Next game is something that I'm kind of really looking forward to. I really can't wait to see Dennis. I've been playing ages.
Oh, yeah. This game is fire. This game is straight fire. I'm super excited. This is my favorite game of the day. It's gonna be my most excited. Looking forward to the game at the game of the day.
Ninjas in pajamas against North. Excited. I think North is a complete shit show.
Not by any means.
They've been underperforming. I don't like the KRB pickup.
They haven't played with this lineup. They have a brand new lineup. They haven't played with it yet. They haven't underperformed anything. They haven't even performed. They can overperform or underperform. It's their first tournament after the major with this tournament with this lineup. I'm excited to see this lineup. I'm excited to see this North lineup play.
No, they performed. They played. No, don't make me feel like I'm going insane.
What are you talking about?
They
They haven't played
played.
since.
They've played with Kiarby
There's
since
been no tournament. They haven't played any tournaments.
Summit.
They didn't play at Summit.
Yes, they did.
Did they?
Yes, they
Oh,
did.
that's right. They did. Did they use it? They use him? Oh, the
They
first
got
tournament receiver.
they got dookied on. They
Yeah,
got
their first tournament with a new
shit
player.
on. But
How much was the first one?
they did well against they did well against Navi and Hellraisers in the Katowice closed qualifiers. But it seems like Heroic has their number. They lost to Heroic in the closed qualifier, then they lost to them in the summit. So if they play them at any point, I think they got that. That's a little that's a little side note. Don't make me feel that. Don't make me feel like I'm a complete asshole.
There's a first tournament with a new lineup. I'm okay with this. I think
All
it'll be
right.
a good team.
I don't know.
I think they'll be fine.
Nabi beat them, and they lost. Oh, all right. Maybe not a complete shit show, but I don't really.
They'll still be a top 10 team.
I don't really think that. I don't have much hope. What I'm saying.
I think this team will be fine. I don't think they're going to win any tournaments, but I think they'll be like a 5th, 10th, 9th place team easily.
I don't think KRB is the answer. I don't think he's the answer here.
He's not supposed to be the answer in his team. He only needs to be the second or third star of this team. Is he entering in the team? I think so. So
okay.
He doesn't have to be. He doesn't have to. He wanted to play for this team. Like he wanted to play for them, and they wanted to play with him. Like you gotta remember, like with that weird transition time with him to this team. Like that was specifically chosen. He left the best team in Denmark to play for this team specifically. He wants to play with them, and they want him. So there's gotta be a reason.
Just like Dupree went to Heroic for
what?
Just
Dupree's been Dupree's on Astralis. You mean
Rubino, I am so sorry. No, I'm glad that you knew exactly what I meant. Rubino. And for some reason, he wants to play with their third best Danish team, I guess.
That makes no sense at all. That's completely different than this situation.
Pray God. Well, as that there's this crazy Danish shuffle going on there, but I can't wait to see the Swedes right back at it. I haven't seen them play at a long time, or at least at a highly competitive level in a very long time. I'm so glad that they were invited. I am also really happy that they added Dennis. I think that he is the perfect mix that Forrest and Get Right needed right now.
He is.
Rez will be Rez, and Dragon. I think we'll see him pull back to more. Maybe if he does not get his entry frags early on, I think that he will pull back to more of a support position this whole for the.
You don't need any more superstars in this team. You Get Right, Forrest, and Dennis. You don't need any more stars in this team. You got more than enough fragging power right there.
I think
it's sick. I'm super excited to see his team.
I personally think that they needed this game against the North.
Yeah, they could. I think it's a toss-up.
I think that they needed the.
I haven't seen this play.
Well, it's good for both of them. They're both really good teams, supposedly. They're considered very good teams in the world, and they both shuffled their lineups a tiny bit, and it's really good to see how both of them react.
I'm so happy. I am so excited to see this. So excited.
I enjoy it.
I've been wanting to see Nib without exist for so long.
All right, I say Nip. I like my pajamas.
Danish CS is a hell of a drug, so
you are going north. All right, we've lit. We're diverging on our pixel.
I think Valde should be the best player in the server. I think MSL is clearly the best. Clearly a great Ingram leader, so I think they'll be okay.
I hope Dennis breaks the fuck out and just goes off, but we'll see.
I was there too. I want to see Dennis do some crazy shit, especially
Um,
play some pistols.
we got for the rest of the games. It seems like we're gonna make short order of this. Next one is short order. The next game is phase order. I didn't play. I didn't play that. I didn't plan on that.
These players. I think I know Alistair. I think he's been around a while.
I know Alice. I know Alistair from
No, he was on
Supernatural.
I don't know. I've never seen any of these players play. I've never seen the team before.
Imagine Sicko. I've heard of Sicko before. Diaz, if I'm pronouncing this correctly, Alistair and Hats. Let's.
No, I don't know about this team. I don't care.
They got the dick on this pick.
Team that you should ever talk about is Renegades.
They got the dick on this pick. They literally got shafted.
Whatever.
Let's see on the road that they took to get here.
Some other teams that beat a bunch of teams that you've also never heard of. So.
MC, they beat Ground Zero, Righteous. I don't even know how to say it. They're on a streak. Let's hand it to them on that. They beat MC.
A bunch of other Australian teams in the Australian qualifier.
Ground Zero, right? Oh, yeah. Qualifier. Trident, Nico, right? Nobody I've ever heard of. Australian qualifier. All right, let's move past the Australian qualifier.
Oh, yeah, is on Tainted Minds. Interesting. I didn't know he was over there.
They lost to Tainted Minds.
They beat them 3-2.
Yeah, I just saw that.
That's cool. Who else did they beat?
So actually,
they went down to the losers final. They didn't even straight win this qualifier. They had to go down to the loser. After losing to Tainted Minds, they played them again in the grand final. What the hell is this? That's kind of funny. I don't care about this game. I don't care about this team or this games.
It seems like that they're brand new because they started playing in January.
These players aren't that new though.
No, but it seems like the team is. I could be wrong. Don't if I'm misspeaking. Wait, but
that's right. This is the team. Right. This is the team that Spawn is the GM for. The League of Legends caster Spawn. He's the general manager. They
also have never played out of their own. Then furthest.
You only play oceanic stuff. You never see teams outside of.
FaZe is gonna give them the fist. I hope Guardian gets back into tip-top form because I hope someone gives him his talent back because it looks like someone straight up stole that shit. He was dead in the water, but you know what?
Could be okay.
We'll be good. Rain was looking very good. He was looking at a high form. I wouldn't say his best. Olaf. I personally think at the end of the year we will see Olaf in the top 3. I had high hopes for him prior to.
No, I don't think so.
Prior to Kiev, but he didn't show up on the server as much as I wanted him to. So I will retract what I told you a couple days ago, where I thought he was going to be the best. I thought at one point he might be the best person. In 2018, I wanted him to be the best player in the world, but watching him in Kiev, he's not going to do it.
So good players.
I say that he will be in that murky area between 5 to 3. I hope so. I really hope Olaf will give his fans a little bit more than that, but whatever. Kerrigan, always, I love the guy. He's a great in-game leader, and I hope that he does the best. I hope that FaZe also wins this tournament in particular.
Me too.
I don't think they will. I hope they will.
I think they will.
Because this roster needs to win something.
I think they
have so much. They have so much to prove to everybody, so that they can get rid of this goddamn stigma that
It's
they're
cursed.
that they are the curse really
They
of
won a lot of they won a lot of tournaments. Like they did win a lot. But
they need
like
to get rid of this whole
they need to win
stigma
more.
of this is the most expensive esports team ever, blah 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 blah. And people need to stop saying that. I think if they win this tournament, that they can definitely put that to rest, and then there's
This is
no
a
way
big
that
tournament, yeah. This is definitely
there's zero way that they can say
this is a tier 1
anything.
tournament. It's good tournament.
Nothing really much more to say about this. So I say FaZe, and what's this?
FaZe. I think they're gonna win
Cool.
this tournament, so.
Ooh, interesting.
Yeah.
I don't really have a pick yet.
Like that. I think they should be. I think they should be the favorite going into every tournament right now. I think they're definitely the number 1 team in the world right now.
I can definitely tell you that SK is not going to win.
I think they can win.
I think they're not going to win. Just because you said FaZe. I hope that they win, but I'm not gonna put my boys out. Liquid. I'm gonna stick with them. I'm gonna stick with Liquid just because I can't count them out. And I'm gonna double down. I'm gonna double down because my other team that I really used to enjoy watching is this complete shit. So I'm gonna double down and say that Liquid may win this if they can really continue the hot streak that they have been going on. But FaZe will give them the biggest issue. So will SK and even Cloud9, considering it seems like that these NA matchups will always prove to be a good fight. Not convinced that they're going to win, but exactly.
G2.
I always overlook them considering
Kenny S, but they always come close. That's
because that's the reason why Kenny S always looks so sad.
Yeah, he does.
I hate watching G2 burning passion.
Oh, dude, I love G2. They're one of my most.
I hate watching them because whenever the camera goes in Kenny's face, I want to cry. I feel like
but then you look at Apex and you feel good again.
Well, Apex does have the most face and most lovable. I can if I googled Apex's face right now, I'd probably laugh my ass off because more funny pictures on the internet.
Stop VP. G2's gonna stop him.
Yeah.
You're gonna stop him.
Thank you for the oh so eloquent segue into the next match, but yeah, G2 VP. We all know if everybody that's watching knows anything about current Counter-Strike, VP. His VP has just let me down.
I want to see G2 win this tournament too. I haven't seen.
Oh, I hope so. They have a lot to prove.
G2,
they have a lot to prove.
Yeah, they might have more proof than FaZe, to be honest with you. They've been around. This team has been together over a year now, and they've won Malmo.
That's it.
I think that's the last term. That's the last tournament they won was Malmo, like a year ago, like almost a year ago.
Yeah, they have a lot to prove.
And this is supposed to be the French super team. These are like the 5 best players in France. These are the 5 best players you could possibly get out of the country.
Hailing the descendants of long lost Titan team members, actually. If we're gonna kick it with some of the old school members of that community. There's really not much to say considering VP. Even though they kicked out Taz, they have still hit the bed.
They're not even like a real team. Like I don't care about this team.
I love the VP. Go Polar Bear, but G2 has this hands down.
I'm tired of talking about how bad they are. And at first it was they are. Now I'm just sick of. I'm sick of talking about them in general because they don't do anything. They just suck. Like they try. Like you can see that they're clearly trying. Like it's not like they're like not doing anything. But, like the team is fucking arguing. It looks like it seems like no one knows what wants to work together. I don't know what's going on with the team. I don't care about the team.
I don't know either. But
I think some of these players need to go. I think some of these players need to wake up. Some of the other ones need to wake up. I don't know what's going on with the team. I'm done with the team.
I hope that they find solace in either another player sooner or later before it's too late. because
Yeah, because sooner or later they're gonna stop. The only reason they even get to like events like this because they get invited. Like they don't even qualify for any events anymore. Like because they can't.
What was the last time that they needed to qualify?
They try and qualify for events all the time. They can't make them. Look, they're invited to this event. Like if they wouldn't make it to a qualifier for this event. Look, they would have to play through an EU qualifier. They wouldn't make it through an EU qualifier for this event. Online Counter Strike First Pro. They're not gonna make it through this qualifier. They wouldn't be in this event. It's in Poland. That's why they get invited because they're the Polish team, and they're gonna bring all the crowd. But if this wasn't a Polish event and it wasn't IEM and they weren't First Pro, they wouldn't be at this tournament. They're here because of name value, not because of skill or value as a team.
Great assessment. So
because sooner or later they're just gonna stop getting invited to events. They just suck and they don't do anything.
So
once they stop getting invited to events, then what happens? They don't qualify for events because they can't because they suck. So we're just never gonna see First Pro again. What's gonna happen?
That'll be a sad day in Counter Strike history.
No, because they're gonna be bad, and I want to see good Counter Strike. It's gonna be a good day because we stop seeing like this is a waste of. This is a super waste of a spot. Like, why is Virtus Pro? Like, I get it because it's in Poland, but like, if it wasn't in Poland, like, why is Virtus Pro invited here and not Mouse Sports? Mouse Sports is a way better team than Virtus Pro.
Even Navi.
They're Navi too. They would make this tournament so much more competitive. I'd rather see Heroic.
Yeah, I feel like Navi not being invited is kind of a slap in the face on how well they've been. How much better? Oh, okay, fair enough.
So it's not really that's not really how it works. So,
Omelette du fromage or kielbasa, sir?
Fucking get my baguette out.
Gonna get my baguette out too. I'll no Polish kielbasa for me. I'm gonna go with the Frenchmen on this. They got this shit. G2 it is.
They've been doing well, even though they're not winning. It's like you can see that the team's getting better, and I like it.
Well,
they had a bunch of great games at the major. They had some good games at Star Ladder. Like they're not winning, but they're almost there. They need to get over, and then they can do it.
I have faith in them. But I don't.
They're all superstar players. They might have skill lineup overall.
I don't think they're gonna win this. I don't think they're gonna win this tournament by any means.
Good. I think they're the outside shot. I think they're an outside shot.
They're not my dark horse.
Skill of all lineups.
They're not my dark horse.
Liquid is.
Well, I mean, Liquid's gonna go all the way. Is exactly what I'm saying. So they can't be my dark horse.
Sure,
but
whatever.
But to be fair,
NACS.
To be fair, my dark horse are your boys.
Yeah, they can do it.
Are the Charles?
They're always in contention to win the event.
If they're working on all cylinders, I feel like a game every single time.
Yeah, they have an all-around team.
Excuse me.
They just have an all-around team. That's why.
Before we get too far off topic, let's talk about the last game of the day, which kind of
that's a banger too.
I'm really excited for. We got more Danish versus Swedish Counter Strike. We have Heroic matched up against Fnatic. I really enjoy watching. I kind of called him Dupree earlier. I'm sorry about that, but I really
everybody loves Rubino. Everybody enjoys Rubino. Everybody in Counter Strike loves Rubino. Not just as a player, as a person too. He's just such an awesome guy.
Nico's also fun to watch.
It's okay.
I like watching him play too.
He's pretty good.
But I really fell in love watching them at Summit. They kind of showed off a different side of themselves. They more of a willingness to adapt. It's kind of it's a lower tier tournament, but it's also nice to get used to them.
Ironically, it's really like some of the older guys in this lineup that are more of a maybe more in contention question here. Like this team is a weird team. Like I don't know what to make heads or tails of this team. Like sometimes they're pretty good, and sometimes I'm just like, why am I watching you play?
Can't count out the Fnatic team though. They shit.
Let's put it this way.
They completely shit the bed on in
I
Kiev.
think Fnatic has a. I think we can safely say that Fnatic has a much higher ceiling in this team. Much higher the team than Heroic. Much higher ceiling than Heroic. Like, but
Just with
Heroic
the
might
two
be a more
people,
complete team right now. Like overall.
just with the people alone of Flusha and JW, they have a
And
higher.
Chris.
They have a, well, I'm just saying alone with Flusha and JW, they have such a higher cap,
Yeah,
more
there's
so
nobody better than that team except
over
Rubino.
Rubino. Yeah, except for Rubino, but the fact that
It's
you
skill player.
but the fact that you have just have Rubino, but then you have Crims, like that's
Yeah,
your just
Fnatic
player on
team.
that team.
I think this I
Golden.
think this Fnatic team will be pretty good by the end of the year. They can pull it together. I think they might be pretty good.
If you remember from Boston Major, they played
Yeah.
an amazing game. One of my favorite games I watched in that whole entire tournament.
That series was sick.
That whole entire tournament, Fnatic SK
Yeah, it was
game
sick.
of day 2 of my finals. That was on that Inferno match, one of the best matches I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah,
And
it was awesome. It was a great game.
I think it was that match, but it was a great series all together. I think that they just kind of not feeling it, Kia,
Yeah,
but
makes sense. They were nothing was coming together in that team that tournament.
can't
They
really
just couldn't get
count
anything
you
done.
can't really count out JW. Not really looking sharp, but my pick is Fnatic.
THTS is a whole drug.
Or going with the.
I think Fnatic looked so bad in Kiev. It really shattered my confidence in the short term for them. I think they'll be good. I think they'll come together and they'll be a pretty good team. But they look so bad this week that I don't think within like 3 days that they've had to be able to make any significant difference.
Okay. All right, you go heroic. I say Fnatic.
DHS is a whole drug.
Got a point there. I am going to flash our picks up on the screen currently. I'm gonna leave that up for about 10 seconds. Pause or I'm gonna pop my face over. Mind you, that is entry pick, but point. We both agree on the Astralis game. Both agree on the SK game. Also on Liquid. Cloud9 start to on the IP and North game. I personally think that Dennis has firepower to put them over the line before you get there.
You see that? No, continue. Never mind.
FaZe, a clear winner from that game for us, G2, and I personally think that JW will go up on this along with Crims. I think if Crims does not do something better than 16th place or whatever the lowest bracket possibly could tournament, may Counter Strike. And I don't want to see. I'm joking. Obviously, I'm joking, but the fact that Crims placed so low, it really hurts him. Usually a good sport, but he was kind of going off.
Most of these players do that after they have shitty tournaments. It happens.
Well, there's one person if I could really say I really enjoy on Twitter is JW.
He's so positive, dude.
He's so positive.
It's great,
and
right?
He's the only person that could tame Thorin too.
Hey, I think they're friendly. They're friends.
There's a lot of times when Storm's flaming him and JW takes it very well, and he
they've known each other a long time.
That is very true. I really I'm gonna get this the picks stayed up that whole entire conversation, but the last but not least, I picked Fnatic and Sate picks Heroic. The picks are coming down. So I am going to bring this first episode of Play for Picks podcast to a wrap. We really just wanted to centralize on the tournament that is upcoming. In later episodes, I want to be the analytical side of the game. We want to get into some of the stats, maybe get into some of the importances of the pistol round, maybe even talk about the meta in following podcasts. And we have a lot of more surprises coming along the way. Once we start getting a following, do have some prizes I want to give out to the people that have been following us from the beginning and that have supported us. From the Boston Major, I have a bunch I will give away to at a certain benchmark for our subscribers and viewers. I have more things to that I know, and I just want to show as much appreciation to the people that watch and do whenever we possibly can. Episode of Play for Picks podcast. Follow us on Twitter. Is there anything that you want to say before we end this?
I'm just looking forward to IEM. Katowice is always one of the best tournaments of the year. So it's going to be great. Looking forward to see good old Freiburg on the desk.
That's one to talk to really quick.
So
the talent.
If this goes well for him, I mean, because he got let go of that optic lineup, he's got nowhere to go play. So he said he still wants to keep playing, but I think your time is done, Freiburg. Sorry, but if this goes well for the desk room, I think he could be a really good analyst desk guy. Come in for events.
Who do we got? Main event talent. We got OJ Borg. I know it's your boy. We got Stun House. His son is hilarious.
I am intrigued that he has been doing more events. Is it 3 events in a row for Stunna? I'm very intrigued. I'm surprised. I'm like, it's not like a positive or a negative, just a neutral. I'm intrigued that he's getting asked to do all these events. But that makes sense. Like what? Like
why him over?
He's not bad. Like he's definitely cool. He's a good guy. He knows what he's talking about. He's definitely good on camera, I guess. It's just like, why now?
Okay.
Like he did a bunch of events last year. He didn't do. I don't remember how many like really big ones like this. Like he did IEM Katowice. He's doing Star Summit, not that big of an event. Star Ladder, very tier 1 event. Then Katowice, super tier 1 event. Right away, right after. That's impressive. Good for him.
I think did very well at Star Ladder. I don't know. It could probably be on his Twitter. I don't really. He left 2 days before Star Ladder ended.
Probably so we can come to Poland to do this.
He likes to speak his mind always. That may get him that may get him in trouble sooner or later. But I really enjoy that he just what he wants. I enjoy it. I really like seeing and listening. Machine, always a great person to have on your talent. Sponge, I haven't heard
he's by far
too
the
much.
Best he's by far, other than Yanko, he's by far the best analyst. Like he's tier 1, and he should be at every single event. Like, there's no reason if Sponge isn't at your event, you're not having a good event. Your event's not a great event. That's just a way to put it. Like if you don't have Sponge, your event is a number event. Like he's incredible. Everything about him is incredible. He's one of the smartest guys in Counter-Strike. He's incredible on camera. He's learning so well. He's learned so fast in the last year and a half that he's been doing it. He's super entertaining. He meshes well with the rest of the guys so well. He's absolutely incredible. Like there's no if he sponges in at your event, it's not tier 1.
I like that. I really enjoy that. We're starting to see talent really come to their own. Especially Sanj.
He's a decent player in his own right. Good old Chad. He's a good player in his own right.
Yanko. Everybody knows Yanko. It's a solid pick. He will get every event.
He's the best analyst.
Every.
He's not at every event. That's the problem.
Really?
That's the pro-
I mean,
he
every
just
event
doesn't
that
get
I've
invited
seen
to some
so
events.
far,
He doesn't get invited to some events.
this year he's pretty well. He's been at every event this year. So,
Yeah, he's good.
Freiburg, we don't see
It's
him too.
interesting.
It's very interesting.
He's done a few analyst tests. He's done a few analyst tests before. He did a few IEMs last year. He was all right.
I'd rather see him as a
Same
player, but
I wouldn't. I wouldn't want to see. I'd rather
yeah, whatever. We'll see it. We'll see him. Henry G and Sadikis. That's a great combo. 1-2 punch.
The best casters in Counter Strike by far.
And our other,
Moses and Pansy is really good. I like seeing that.
Moses and Pansy. They were cast.
They cast together a lot.
Yeah, they do. I saw.
I like when they cast together.
I was watching the qualifiers on.
They do well together. They do really.
They have good.
Together.
They have good chemistry. I enjoy it. All right. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that talent. And
so IEM's always one of the best events of the year. And it's also part of the Intel Grand Slam. So we can hopefully add another notch to FaZe Clan.
Hopefully. I'm really hoping that we can.
Victories for the Intel Extreme Masters for the Intel Grand Slam. That's just such a weird thing. The Intel Grand Slam.
Want to explain that a little bit?
Oh, it was like something ESL put out last year, where it was the rules of some weird thing. You have to. Let me read it real quick. You have to like win a bunch of ESL events and DreamHack events like in a row or something. Like get a certain amount of them, and once you do, like, you win like $100,000, and like other teams can knock you out of it by stealing your win. It's some weird thing.
That is weird.
It's just like an extra thing for teams to go for DreamHack and ESL events.
All right, fair enough. Well, I think that we covered a lot of information. I can't wait to cover more information in more episodes to come. I thank anybody that sat through all of this, and let us know what you think. Try to contact us, either start following us on comments below. Do your thing. Either way, my name is Nerfed. State Chiha, and it's been great to have you for as long as we did. And until then, have a great night. Bye bye.